Contestant number 9, Jim Key. Never too late. Never too late, Jim Key.
On a recent outing, I took my family to see the movie The Rookie. During one particular part of this movie, my emotions got the best of me. And my young daughter noticed. She looked up at me and said, "Why are you crying, Daddy?" Now, it didn't bother me that she noticed. What bothered me was that the theater had just gotten very quiet. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters, and anyone who's ever cried at the movies, never ignore the inquisitive child because they don't know how to give up and they don't know how to be quiet about it. I ignored her for a moment, and she repeated her question. Louder! Why are you crying, Daddy? When the movie finally ended, my wife, my daughter, and I, followed by my 2 sons, headed to the aisle to exit. And I thought, wait a minute, this could be a great teaching opportunity. So I turned to my 2 sons. I said, "Guys, what message did you get from this movie?" Now, my 16-year-old, the comedian, said, "I learned that my daddy cries at the movies." Thanks! Now all the people in the aisle are looking at me smiling. My 12-year-old took the question a little more seriously. He thought about it, and he said, "I learned that it's never too late to follow your dreams." It's never too late to follow your dreams. Why do we have to have a movie remind us it's okay to dream? I learned that children don't have that problem when I asked the elementary school assembly, if you could have any job in the world, what would be your dream job? An excited little Timmy said, "Ooh, to be the guy that rides on the back of the garbage truck." Now that's not my dream, and I'm guessing it's not yours. But the point is this, his mind was so free that he could dream about whatever he could imagine. Dreaming is good. Dreaming is right. It's what leads to every notable accomplishment. So why don't we dream more? You see, as children, we look into the future and we can dream for decades. But many times as we head through adulthood, we get here and hit a wall, and we can't dream past next week. Why? What happens in this middle area that robs us of that ability to dream? I believe that over time, we learn to be afraid of failing. And so, to compensate and protect ourselves, we condition ourselves to expect less. Now here's one of the ways that can happen. How many of you know someone, at least one person, who is more than willing to give you a piece of their mind? And it doesn't even matter if they have enough to spare. You notice that? Yes. They will poo-poo our dreams and they'll enjoy doing it. But you see, the problem is that all too often we listen to it. And we begin to believe, maybe my dream should be a little more realistic. That's how it starts. Little by little, over time, that lofty dream that we had is diminished until some point where our conditioning is complete. In the movie The Rookie, Jim Morris asked his father whether or not he should pursue his dream. And with the clear intention of discouraging him, his father said, "Son, it's okay to think about doing what you want to do until it's time to do what you were meant to do." Ladies and gentlemen, we were meant to dream. We were meant to dream. Martin Luther King said, "The time is always right to do what is right." And I believe that if it was right for us to dream as children, then it's right for us to dream as adults. We live in America, where we enjoy the freedom to dream. our challenges, do we have the courage? Do we have the courage to dream? I must tell you about a teenage girl who inspires me. I've known Nicole and her family for many years. Nicole is hearing impaired, vision impaired, and 2 years ago she survived a stroke. Life has not been fair. And she could rightfully justify expecting less, but then she wouldn't be my Nicole. You see, last August, I watched her stand up on a huge stage before several thousand people. And she performed a beautiful song in sign language. My heart wept with joy, ladies and gentlemen, because she had the courage to follow her heart. And in more ways than one, she taught me it's never too late to follow your dreams. What do you dream? What do you dream? And if you don't, why did you stop? The good news is that if you can summon the courage to overcome your critics and your circumstances and your experiences, the dream that you had can be renewed starting today. And folks, it's necessary that we do that, because as surely as I stood and watched her that day, there are people who watch all of us. I'm talking about your family. I'm talking about your friends and your coworkers. I'm talking about people in this audience. When we dream, they see it. And they will be inspired to dream and to achieve far beyond what they otherwise might. Now, whether your dream is to change the world or simply to not get caught crying at the movies. If you forget everything else I've said, it would thrill me if you remember this.